We often see people investing thousands of dollars per month on social media, but that's not possible for the majority of people. Now, $10 a day might be more sustainable. In this video, I want to discuss the portfolio update on investing $10 a day in Bitcoin and what if I invested that $10 a day in a S&P 500 instead. For this $10 a day challenge, I decided to use Robinhood for the simplicity of automating and setting up recurring investing. It was actually super easy to set up a recurring investment as I didn't want to do it manually. When I first invested, the Bitcoin price was around $42,000. The $2 you see in the account was from the Learn and Earn reward. My first $10 order was on January 14, 2024. When a full week passed, I was actually down almost 2%. The Bitcoin price dropped to roughly $41,000 and my recurring buys filled at around $42,000. But that was just the beginning. Almost 1 month in, everything's changed. Bitcoin price went to $50,000 and my portfolio was at $350, up almost 16%. The average price I paid was $43,000 at this point. Now let's look at how this investment performed 5 months in. Currently the portfolio is sitting at 1708 with Bitcoin price at around $66,000. There was a lot of volatility in the past 3 months. The price was at $65,000 to $70,000 in March, so my daily purchases were being filled at a relatively high price. On May 1st, the price dropped significantly to about $58,000. So the portfolio took a bit of a hit, but luckily it went back to the high 60s at the end of May. Okay, so if we look at the year-to-date chart, the portfolio is up around 12%. A week before, the portfolio was up 20%, but the price dropped unfortunately. So this puts the total return at $186. My average price paid was $58,000, so it's not so bad. Now I'm wondering, what if instead of investing in Bitcoin, I actually invested in the S&P 500? Unfortunately, I couldn't find a website where I can input daily buys. All the portfolio backtest websites allowed only a monthly contribution amounts, so I decided to create my own Google Sheets calculation. So I used the Google Finance function to get all the open dates from January 14 to June 14 of VOO, which is an S&P 500 ETF. Now, I had to figure out what's the invested amount because with Bitcoin, I can buy it every single day, but the stock market doesn't function that way. We have weekends, we have holidays. So what I did, I got the amount invested, which was 1520, and then there were 106 trading days. So I just figured out my per day amount. With this per day amount, I was able to calculate how many shares I actually purchased every single day. So if I was investing in the S&P 500 instead, I would have purchased roughly 3.2 shares. Now, I'm not sure exactly how they round, so I didn't round it at all. Then I used the close price of $498 for June 14 with the Google Finance function again. And that gives me a value of $16.31. Now, one of the limitations that I didn't take into consideration was the dividend reinvestment. So I just simply added $15 into the value. And that puts the total return at around 7% if I invested into the S&P 500. So overall, the Bitcoin return was actually 5% higher than if I would have invested in the S&P 500. I'm doing this challenge just for entertainment purposes, so it doesn't necessarily mean that Bitcoin is a better investment. Ultimately, it all comes down to your risk appetite and whether you believe that Bitcoin is a good long-term strategy. I'll be curious to see how this investment performs in 1, 2, 3, or even 5 years down the line. So make sure to hit that subscribe button because I'll keep you posted and I'll continue to invest $10 a day for the foreseeable future.